Hello, my name is swissbianco. In this video I will talk about the updated version of the Timberline workhorse folding knife. Like I have it here in my hand. In the catalog we see the technical description of this great folding knife. It comes in plain edge and serrated edge. But now there is a updated version that is a little bit different. That's why I make this video. Next to all my Swiss Army knives, the workhorse from Timberline is quite likely the knife that I own the most in numbers. Basically it's this version here is the updated version, and what I have more is the older version like this. So what we see firsthand, the differences, I'm gonna point that out. Firsthand we see the size is pretty much the same on this. We see we have here one screw that has a privet, a spacer in between. That is not here anymore, so that is optically the first sign that you actually see it. Second, by the older style you needed a special tool to adjust the main pivot pin. I used a plier that I use for the tail caps on flashlights as well. Basically a plier that goes into two of these holes and then you can turn it around. Now that's a update by the new one. That's a better solution. By the new one we have a Torx, so you actually can easier adjust the main pivot pin. From the back side we see the pocket clip got adjusted a bit more down the handle, so the knife is less deep in your pocket as you carry it, so it's easier to take out. If you ever have a problem to take the knife out, you can use the lanyard hole for loop a small piece of cord, a paracord or whatever you choose, and basically drag the knife out of this cord out of the pocket. That works pretty well, and sometimes depending on the knife I use that. So that's the main differences. On this side, the pocket clip, of course, in front we don't have the pivot screw again. As we look on top of the knife, we see here is that spacer privet, there is nothing. So basically it is only the front point where the blade stops. In between there is nothing. A smaller detail, the camera see it. We see here it's on the new version it's angled 45 degrees, here it's rounded. I like the rounded style a bit better. If it's too sharp on this one, you can always use a little bit of sandpaper and smoothen the edges out. That is done within 2 minutes. That is not that much of a deal. Another detail, the scales. The G10 scales are actually thicker on the new version than on the older version, and that is basically the main difference on the whole knife. The G10 is thicker, therefore, as we see by the older version, we have here the opening studs is shorter. By the new one it's longer. It's a longer opening stud. This basically is needed as we close the knife, as we look from top. Because the G10 is thicker, you need to be able to reach the point that you can open the blade more easy, and therefore that needs to be a bit wider. The handling of the new knife is still the same. It's still pretty good in the knife. Because it's thicker, it's more solid on your hand. The older one is thinner. For me, I feel it pretty well. The thinner one would be a bit easier to ride in the pocket, but for actually working, the more thicker, newer version is a bit more easier. Now, what that affects is the weight. As we look by the older version, we come to 139 grams. The newer version has 150 grams. This basically because the G10 is thicker. It's not that much of a difference, but if you have both of those knives, you really feel the difference on the handling and on the feeling as you use it and carry it. The serrations doesn't matter too much on the weight. That is minimal. I have both knives in both styles, but there is really a little difference in between that. So that much about the new version of the Timberline Workhorse. Is still a great knife. I like it a lot, even as it is a bit different now. What the average user gonna find helpful is the now really easy adjustable pivot pin, so you can adjust the tension as you want. A little bit another detail I wanna quick point out. I just see that to remember me. As we see, the finish of the blade and the liner on the older version is the same. By the new version, the finish of the blade and the liner is different. We see the liner is kinda looks like a laser coated. It's a different coating on the liners there. We see that blackish. Yeah. It's different on the liner than on the original below. So that's another difference, but that is just optically. That is not practically affecting. So that much about the new Timberline version of the Workhorse knife.